Cause you didn't ask me.
I didn't need to ask you. I saw the sign.
Three more people.
Oh, y'all guys are trying this. Y'all trying me.
Thank you.
Lights on or off?
For so long, I was tormented by the memories of my past. For so long, I was captive. I had my own chains that I had to get rid of. For the longest time, I let the abuse that I suffered and the torture that I went through stop me from moving forward. For so long, I felt like I couldn't go forward, I couldn't go backward, I couldn't do left and right. And it's time that people who feel this way need to help themselves and reach out to others. Being in a box, in a cage, for 12 years is not okay. Locking yourself up so that nobody can see inside you is not okay. Sitting there and acting like nothing's wrong when deep down inside you're actually falling apart. Your heart is shattered and it's dust. Somebody's vacuuming up that dust every day because it just keeps shattering and shattering again. Not okay. I know many people who have done worse than I have. But what I went through helped me for 12 years. And I couldn't imagine what people who went through worse, how long that's going to hold them back. For so many years, I held back and I was afraid. And because I was afraid, I thought I couldn't trust anyone. I couldn't be friends with anyone. I couldn't talk to anyone. I couldn't even take a step towards somebody without them judging me. 10 years I went through isolation. 2 years, nobody had to know what happened. Then I came to college. Walked on campus, the first day I'm like, the only person this has happened to. Nobody else knows what I'm going through. Nobody has the slightest idea. I'm the only person. Then, I started getting involved in activities, started doing things, and I realized I'm not doing it. But so many people come on campuses, go to high school, go to elementary school, and they're like, I'm the only person that's happened. For those of you who can say, this will never happen to me, I'm glad for you, I'm truly happy for you. I had the chance. I was in second grade when this first happened. So I encourage you to take the steps to avoid this from happening. And you may say, well, what causes it? What can you do? So many times you hear the words, don't drink, don't smoke weed, don't do crack, don't do marijuana, don't do anything that's going to mess up your judgment. And let me tell you, that's true. In all three cases, when I was molested, it was due to alcohol. Not from me, but on their side. And so many times people are like, I'm going to drink, I'll be fine, no problem, I'll be okay. And then the next thing you know, it's too late. Am I saying alcohol is bad for everybody? No. Am I saying you can't have a drink every once in a while? No. Am I saying that, if you need it for medical purposes, you can't smoke? No. Your life is yours to live. The way you choose to live it is your decision. However, I do suggest that you live it wisely because you only have one life. You only have one life here on this earth. And when you go through something like I went through or something that somebody else went through, you don't live that life. Because you're just trapped. You don't live that life because you don't reach out to others. You don't advance. You just keep falling. Finally, after 12 years, I joined Spirit Gospel Choir, 3 Bible studies, Breaking Free, a support group for people who have been through abuse and everyday struggles, and a few other extracurricular activities. It wasn't until I joined these I was able to open myself up and start freeing myself. It wasn't until I opened myself that I was able to finally break those chains. That will be with me for the rest of my life. That scar is still going to be there. The only difference is, I'm letting people see that scar. Because I have no need to hide it. If I hide it, then it may be too late for somebody else. If I hide it, then I'm only damaging myself. And if I hide it, I can't reach out to those who really need me. I can't help friends who have been in that position. I can't help a complete stranger who I run into at the street who's in a bad position. There's nothing I can do. People will judge. Don't get me wrong, people will judge. There's many of you in this room who may judge me today, who may judge me and take half the night. But in all honesty, after being judged for 10 years, go ahead and judge me. I couldn't control what happened to me. I've accepted it. So you can sit here, you can judge me, you can look down at me, but in all honesty, I know I'm doing the right thing. And in my opinion, for you to judge anybody who has been in this situation or has been through something like this, automatically, she was raped, that must mean she's a word I'm not going to say. That is not the case. So many times on Facebook, I have seen this one post, and it always hits me. It says, pardon my language, the girl that you just called a whore, she just got raped. The girl you just pushed down in school gets beaten at home. In all reality, you don't know what the person is going through. Nobody had any idea of what I went through. And I keep relating that to myself because it's the best reference I have. My story is mine alone to tell. I can't sit here and say, well, this person went through this, this person went through that. Because that's not fair to them. If they don't want people to know, then I should make them share. That's why I keep referring to my story. And this event is to help people who have been through it, to help people who have faced this struggle, and many other struggles that maybe I'm not aware of. But it's also to help prevent more victims. You can help yourself. If you make the wise decisions and make the right decisions, you can help yourself. You can stop it from happening to you. You just got to know what you have to do. And unfortunately, for those of you who like to go out party, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but one of them is learning your limits. You have to know your limits, because the moment you don't know your limits and you go overboard, that could be the end of it. You never know if you'll see tomorrow. You don't know if you'll see an hour from today. For all you know, you could just go out and not come back. And it could be because of one bad decision. I'm not here to lecture you guys. I'm here because I want to help people. Because I want to make a difference. And as corny as that sounds, because I know that's what everybody says in their interviews, what would you like to get out of this job? Well, I'd like to make a difference. So yes, I know it sounds corny. But after 10 years, 12 years, sorry, of being stuck with my father, 3 times molested by 3 different people, abused emotionally, mentally, physically, as well as sexually, and having to leave my little sister in the house and see what my older sisters had to go through, yes, I wanted to make a difference. Child Protective Services, their jobs are to help people in those situations. So many times they have put a child back in the home, but the child has gotten killed. They left my sisters and I there for 10 years, 12 years. 10 for my older sisters, 12 for me. And for those of you who have seen my little sister, she's about Jeff's height, give or take, maybe a little shorter. Sorry, Jeff, I had to fix that. But about his height, I'm really short, not physically fit as you can see, and I'm not a fighter. She used to kick my butt every day, and then I had to deal with my father at school time. It was so bad, my grades started plummeting in school, I thought about running away. One time I opened up a bottle of Advil, poured all the pills in my hand, and thought about overdose. But then I heard something inside me, and it said, don't do it, you're going to get out of here. It's not worth taking your life. I didn't do it. 6 months later, I was out of that house. But that struggle didn't stop it. The only way to heal yourself is to open yourself. It's hard to trust people. Trust me, I know. I know it is hard to trust people. But when you find those people that you can really trust, when you find those people that are like a family, it's not as hard. You can heal that scar. The scar will still be there, but you can heal it. It doesn't have to be on you anymore. It doesn't have to be just you facing the world. Because that's not what this is about. Coming to college is finding a place to fit in. Coming to college is finding a family, a group that you always want to be associated with. And if you allow that group, that family, or your friends to just reach inside you and help you, that scar won't be eliminated, like I said, but it will begin to heal. You'll begin to be able to walk around. You will be like, I admit this right now. I have a low self-esteem. I will admit this right now. I walk around school all the time. I'm like, that girl's so pretty. I bet you she go through half the stuff I went through. And people look at me and they judge me because of what I look like, and they judge me because of what I went through. So I walk around campus and I'm like, that girl's so much better than I am. Why would this guy that I like me instead of liking her? So trust me, I have low self-esteem. But once you open your heart, you start to free yourself, you'll be able to walk around, your head held high. Because you no longer have that chain in your neck. You no longer have that chain around your neck to the point where it's dragging you. And wherever you go, your back starts to kill you. Because you don't know what you could be. You can't be who you want to be and what you could be until you open yourself. And I'm not talking about opening a present, like Christmas Day. Oh, look, I got this. No. This isn't a present you just automatically open. You need the box cutter, you need some scissors, you need maybe some surgical supplies depending on how many or how much tape is all around it. You might even need a hammer. But, it's going to take time. It's not going to happen in the blink of an eye. Nobody should expect it. And I understand this is a sensitive subject. So while I'm standing here, I'm going to give anybody the option. If you want to leave because this is too much for you, stand up, walk away, and stay. I don't expect you to stay if this is too much for you. I'm not going to come knocking at your door at 2 o'clock in the morning. Angry is all hell because you left. Which I understand. It's scaring me right now to stand up here and talk for that. So I do understand. Does anybody want to? You want to say something?
What? Hello. My name is Christian. Okay. At first, I just want to go up here and say, that, I want to thank Andrea for not only being on this amazing, but for being a great friend, a great contact. I'm able to confide in her a lot of stuff. And this is the first time I've put this out loud, so very, very important. From the ages of 5 to 10, one big guy who was a female. And this is exciting because no one really relates to her. She had like my own membership. Look something cool, doesn't matter. And it scarred me. It still scars me, and it's still a moments where flashbacks come into and my faith has kept me grounded. Truly, truly. I can't do it without my faith. And that's something that will me and our faith share. And that's something that we invited each other to. I just want to thank her for giving me a platform.
Here are Kelly. I want to make available to those of you who have been through something, but you are too afraid to confide. We have a group. It does not necessarily mean that we are psychologists. It means that we are there to support you. We are a building blocks of family for those who go through daily struggles and those who suffer from their past. The group is called Breaking Free. We meet every Wednesday, 9 o'clock p.m. in room This is the president of Rogala. After the events, if you are interested, please go up to her and give her your information. Nobody has to know. If you are too afraid to do it, then give it to me after everything's closed up and I will give it to the president. I don't expect everybody to be able to do it. Another option, for those who don't know, because I ran into a senior who didn't know this, we have the counseling center. Second floor of the Rogala Health Center. I go there, personally for me, it does wonders. Because I started going there, because I joined these groups, I was able to forget those who did this. But I was able to forgive those who did this to me, and it's a hard process. It took me 10 years to be able to forgive the stranger. I just recently forgave my father, and I'm still in the process of forgiving my marital cousin. I think that's what you call it after marriage, but it is not an easy process. It's like trying to take super glue and tear it apart without the liquid. So, for those of you who are afraid you could become victims, again, I encourage those two sources, but also I encourage you to watch yourselves. Be aware of your surroundings at all times. We had a recent situation in Florida, and I don't know who the female was, but I personally believe that she dropped the charges for some unknown reason. I have my suspicions, but that doesn't mean that they're true. We've had situations in other buildings where this has happened due to alcohol, due to drugs, due to being in the moment. It happens. It happens everywhere. It happens anywhere. It happens at any time. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of the people that you hang around. If you see somebody and you have a negative feeling in your stomach, I ask you, follow that feeling. Because if you don't, you end up going down the wrong path. Listen to your gut instinct. I understand people say, well, if you do that, you miss an opportunity. That one gut instinct is ultimately maybe the one that will save you. Because as much as friends come up to you and go, Christian, I'm going to protect you, I swear nobody's going to hurt you again. You can't be there 24/7 every second day. You have to take the responsibility upon your own shoulders to know where you are, who you're with, what you're doing, your limitations, and all that information. You can't know just one or the other. If you know somebody who has gone through this, you don't know how to help them, come see me, come see North Kelly's. You can go to the counseling center to ask for information. You can even go to Christian. Go to whoever you feel you need to go to if you know somebody has gone through this. Because they need you to reach out to them. If you know that they've gone through this and you're just like, they'll be fine, they'll make it through, they'll be okay. That's not true. As much as they play it off, it is not true. It is not like a fairy tale where it starts sad and it ends sad. In most cases, it starts sad and it ends in death. It is not true. If you want to help them, come and see somebody. See what you can do, ask how you can help. Don't be afraid to. It's not like you're sitting in class with 500 people looking at you and you're raising your hand. Do not be afraid to come forth and get help. Do not be afraid to come forth and get help for your friend. Do not be afraid to come forth and get help for yourself. Because unfortunately, I learned this the hard way. You cannot help others until you help yourself. You cannot heal others until you put bandage over your own scar. And you cannot move forward with this holding you back. If you're trying to move forward with this holding you back, you may as well tie a rope around your waist and try to pull around it. And I tell you, you're not going to go far. So please, confide in somebody. I don't want to say anybody, but somebody. get the help you need. I don't know if I'm talking to anybody in here right now, but if I am, please see me, see Nora Kelly's, see someone. We may not be psychologists, but we are here to help. We are not going to judge you if you come to Breaking Free and stand in the middle of the room and say, this is what happened. We are not going to pass judgment because I bet you every single person there, whether they admit it or not, went through something. And whatever is said in that room stays in that room. If we hear otherwise, there's trouble. We are a family. To trust each other is a big, big thing. The only way to do that is to build that trust. You have to build the trust before you can tell people what happens. You have to build the trust before you go up to somebody and say, my friend went through this, I don't know what to do. But please, I know I'm just meeting some of you right now. I understand that. You may be a little weirded out by this. I understand. I'm not saying you have to come ready. If you're not ready, then you're not ready. But when you feel you're ready, and you feel you need to come forward, please see somebody. Now, what I want to ask everybody to do is if you know a friend whose chains you want to break, or you want to break your own chains, you don't have to say which it is, I ask you to stand up. This is the fun part. If you know anybody who has gone through any kind of hardship, it doesn't have to be abuse. It can be a divorce in the family. It can be the smallest thing to the largest thing. If you know anybody, please stand up. I ask everybody who has stood up to go to this wall and reach for the chains. And when I count to 3, after I turn the camera, don't do it yet. After I count to 3, I want everybody to shout, breaking the chains and tear them down. And this is your vow to help others and to help yourself. If you break these chains, this is not necessarily your duty, but you know you have to do. And that is the most important thing about it. Is everybody agreed to this?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Break the chain!
So, I tried to keep it short, sweet, and simple. I'm sorry if it felt like a lecture to people. I'm that. That's the way I work. Apparently I'm supposed to be a teacher, but that's not going to happen. Too much work. So again, if you need to see somebody, if you need to speak to somebody, please, I beg of you, come see someone. And like I said, it doesn't have to be all everybody's here, but please come see someone. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. That's about as short, sweet, simple as I could do it, and if it was misorganized, I apologize. This is my first event, A, and B, I did this without a script. So, I didn't have this planned out. For those of you who came, if you're still hungry, feel free to look up some more pizza. And please sign in. If you don't sign in, you don't get the community points. With that, this is the conclusion of Breaking the Chains, unless anybody has a question. No questions. Okay.
Thank you, Jeff and Bryce, for coming.
Alright.
Wait. I have a special thanks to both Bryce and Rachel because Bryce helped me with the cups and plates, and to Rachel for helping me to host the event. Because I know people can get rowdy and it can get really bad, and I was just by myself when people are tackling me. I I thank everybody again for coming, and again, special thanks to Rachel and Bryce and Jeff for being here. I don't know your name.
Veronica, she said it.
And Veronica for being here, I'm
It's
sorry.
okay, it's awkward.
I appreciate all the RAs that came, I appreciate the students that came, and remember, if you broke those chains, you have taken that vow. So take little steps to help those who don't need it, and take steps to help yourself. With that, that's the conclusion.